course, that was Tirico McMillan, who stands at the top of the rookie receiving yards leaders from the 2025 NFL season. The only guy to get to that 1,000-yard mark, Matthew.
Yeah, and then what's interesting is you look at this list in terms of rookie pass catchers, right, for receiving yards. Emeka Egbuka, no surprise at number 2, but look at the next 4. All tight ends.
Right.
Tyler Warren, Harold Fannin, Colston Loveland, Oronde Gadsden. So, Connor, anything you make of that was it just a weak rookie wide receiver class? Burton got going late, obviously. Higgins and Rell couldn't get on the field that much.
Golden
the Titans
was
guys,
really disappointing.
Golden was disappointing.
Yeah, I think what's even more alarming is rookie tight ends don't ever produce, and we had 4
No, I know.
that were a pretty big deal.
That's
so
right.
I think it gives you a lot of promise, Jay, going forward that, hey, we finally got a new – because it seems like we're pretty close to where Travis Kelce's not going to be in the NFL anymore. Mark Andrews has declined.
Sure.
We've needed some guys to step into that role. And
Hawkinson, depending on what happens with Minnesota, Hawkinson's taking a step back as well.
That's the positive. But the receiver class as a whole, besides Burden, who I think we're excited about the upside and the finish of the year, was a little flat on some areas.
I think the thing is, too, is that I don't think he would have caught T-Mac, but I think that the guy who would have finished second in receiving yards if he didn't get hurt was Travis Hunter. Because Travis Hunter was really starting to come on.
That's a good point,
the last game before he got hurt, I think he had 100-plus yards against the Rams in Europe and was looking like they were really focusing on the offensive role for him. But it is interesting, and it kind of lends itself into fantasy, the fact that seems like there is now this premium on these tight ends coming out of the draft who are effectively receivers.
Right.
Like Oronde Gadsden's a receiver. Harold Fannin Jr. is more a receiver. He's more a slot receiver than a tight end in a lot of ways. So that is going to make, I think, the tight end position a lot deeper in general.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Which fantasy-wise we're very excited about. I wonder, I think there could be more touchdown equity, but do you guys feel like, I don't want to say that T-Mac has reached his ceiling, but just feels like as long as Dave Canales is his head coach and as long as Bryce Young's his quarterback, there's always going to be a limit there because they're going to want to be more run heavy, more ball control. Like Emeka Egbuka, like if Mike Evans moves on, like you sort of feel like Emeka Egbuka could, just have, put together a full year. He obviously had an amazing start to the season, or Luther Burden over a full year, right, what we saw over the second half. But as brilliant as T-Mac is from a talent standpoint, just feels like his situation limits his upside a little bit.
I would agree with that. That's a big season for any receiver. So the fact is, you're looking for guys. I think where you're trying to say, Matthew, too, is now you're going to pay a different cost for Tirico McMillan in the draft. You're probably not paying that same level of cost, although hype trains in fantasy over summer get crazy for Luther Burden. Travis Hunter, there might be a dip on because people forget about him.
Yeah, that's right.
Like you pointed out, Jay, things were trending the right way for Travis Hunter. So I think that's the point is, we like T-Mac. We think he's going to be really good in the NFL. But where you're drafting him, now you're paying a premium price. You have to have those results.
Yeah, it feels like T-Mac is what he is. He's the alpha wide receiver 1. He's going to be the wide receiver 1 for that team. Luther Burden's on an upward trajectory. Hunter is obviously a wild card. The one who was most confusing to me, though, Connor, to figure out is Emeka Egbuka, where he was looking like, he's producing like a top 5 wide receiver for the first 6-7 weeks. And then it felt like it just all snowballed downhill where he started to have some drop issues. He had the drop against the Saints in the end zone, which was just comical and just kind of just not a ball that an NFL wide receiver drops. And then by the end of the season, he wasn't even playing. He's playing like half the snaps on a team that really needed his skill set in theory.
Although the counter to that is that it wasn't just him. Baker played better. Baker was in the MVP conversation for the first 6-7 weeks of the season, and they should have made the playoffs, and they didn't, right? And I know, they won the game they should, but the Falcons. But still, the fact is like the entire Buccaneers offense, it felt like from the second half of the season on, just hit a wall.
I think so. And I think once again, Baker's play falling off. Combined with just everything, they move on from the offensive coordinator.
It felt like Baker wasn't healthy as well. He did the shoulder against the Rams. He didn't look nearly himself in the second half of the season.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.